right, let's take a look at the other game going on Saturday. You got Michigan State against Duke. Here you have 3 number 1 seeds in the Final Four, and then you got Michigan State, a number 7 seed. Duke as the number 1 seed is 49-9 straight up. Michigan State, though, they're in the Sweet 16 or better for the 7th time in 8 seasons. Just a remarkable run here under Tom Izzo. Izzo is also 13-9 straight up when facing a higher seed in the NCAA tournament. And here he is again an underdog, about 5.5, and the totals come down here to 139. And you've got this Michigan State team, only non-number 1 seed left here. Covering numbers 11-3-1 spread run. It is a Spartan team that is defensive, and yet they're on an 8-3 run over the total, as well as 12-4 overall. They're coming off a game against Louisville where they were down by 8 at the half, 40-32, but combination of outstanding defense and Louisville not being good on offense in the second half ended up with a nice comeback win. Of course, it was in overtime too, but Louisville ended up shooting 36% for the game. So, Jeff, it was great defense that they leaned on that last game, and obviously they're going to have to lean on it again if they want to hang with Duke.
Yeah, it was great defense. Plus, Louisville, I think, got tired. They have very low depth in that team, and a couple of their players played the entire 40 minutes 2 nights before, so that was one of the reasons. Michigan State's record is kind of deceiving. They've lost 5 overtime games this year, so they're obviously a lot better than the record showed. Also, they had some injuries, and now they're healthy. Tom Izzo is one of the best coaches in the country in March. And what makes all these games so tough, all these tremendous coaches, you just hate to go against. It was hard to go against Rick Pitino on Sunday. I got lucky with the overtime win, but it's just so hard to go against all these great coaches. And when you have all this great coaching and you're getting points, it's pretty hard not to grab those points. So I think I might go with the underdog here again, because all these Michigan State's only loss in the last few weeks was that overtime loss in the Big Ten championship game against Wisconsin. They blew a lead and then didn't cover in overtime. But other than that, they've been playing better than just anybody in the country. They still have the defense, still have the rebounding, and this is a better shooting team that they usually have. And of course, Duke. What can you say? They could have been tied with Gonzaga with a few minutes ago if Witcher hadn't missed that layup. So. Right now, I'm going to take the dog again. I'm going to go with I like that trend that you had, 15-9-1 underdogs Final Four, and I'm going to do it again here. I'm going to grab the points here with Michigan State.
All right. Well, this Duke team is also winning and covering like the Spartans, 9-2 spread run. Despite an up-tempo style at times, they're 8-1 under the total. They got the offense. The Blue Devils are 4th in the nation in scoring, and they're also 3rd in shooting, over 50% as a team. Game against Gonzaga, yeah, they won and covered easily if you just look at the final score as a 5-point favorite, 66-52. But it was actually a very close game. Zach, it was a lot closer game than that the final score indicates.
Yeah, I'm still going to lean on Duke with this matchup. I think they're going to be too much. Sometimes you see that in the Final Four where the talent just outweighs where a team makes a solid run. Michigan State's won 11 of their last 15, but you look at the games they played in the tournament, they played some teams that just lack the offensive firepower. Obviously, Louisville, Georgia. Oklahoma, you can say, is a good offensive team, but they were able to neutralize them enough. And then Virginia obviously had their offensive struggles through the whole entire second half of the season. So all those matchups were favorable for Michigan State. But I do say, if you've listened to me on the Duke future, obviously this is a win-win situation. You find your best money value on Michigan State for a future right now. There's some good numbers out there, and then you've got a hedge opportunity in the title game. There's no reason not to make some money when you go this far. But Michigan State, I think there's just Coach K. It's not the offense that I'm impressed with Duke. It's the defense. When they had that struggle against Miami and NC State, it was because they lacked defensive prowess. But after that, they switched to zone against Louisville, and from there on out, they've been able to play man-to-man better and mix things up. Their young talents just risen to the occasion. Matt Jones, some of the wing guards are really playing really well, and Tyus Jones did an incredible job on Kevin Pangos for pretty much the entire game, a freshman against a senior, and he neutralized him for 40 minutes. I think Kevin Pangos made a few baskets in the second half, but you would expect a senior of that caliber, that's a 4-year starter, to run Tyus Jones off the floor. That didn't happen. Jones outplayed him and might be one and done the way he's playing in this tournament. But this is a low number to me. I think Duke will neutralize. They're going to go after Denzel Valentine and live with Travis Trice taking his shots. I think he's taken a lot of ill-advised shots in this tournament, maybe a little bit fortunate. You even seen Valentine take some ill-advised shots in the last game against Louisville, almost get yanked off the floor a few times. But they don't have the offensive firepower, and defensively, I don't trust Costello and Dawson inside to handle Jahlil Okafor. As they see too many mismatches all over the floor, it's going to take a horrible game from Duke to lose this game, in my opinion.
Well, I'm going to stay with that theme that you mentioned, and that is defense. There's only 2 games left in the season for one of these teams. Both coaches demand defense and know how to teach it here. So, look, I think both teams are going to bring a lot of defense to this game. First of all, Michigan State, they faced a team in Oklahoma that, like Duke, can play any style recently, and it was a 62-58 final. It was a defensive game. And then the game against Louisville, they allowed 36% shooting for the entire game. Meanwhile, Duke, they can play any style as well. Look at the last 2 games for the Blue Devils, 63-57 versus Utah, and then 66-52 against a Gonzaga team that is just so potent offensively, part of an 8-1 run for Duke under the total. Finally, a couple of Final Four spread trends with respect to totals. 12-6 run under the total in these Final Fours, and a more recent run of 7-3 under the total, which makes perfect sense because these coaches are going to be demanding great defense on every possession for the entire game because so much is at stake, and plus both teams can play defense. So I'm looking at this one, Duke, Michigan State, under the total. All right, let's get to some best bets as well as what we have going on for the weekend. Jeff, I know you've been on a terrific run in both college and NBA coming into this week.
Yeah, right now I'm on a 16-3 run, NBA and college combined. I was 7-2 in a Sweet 16, and right now I'm last 3 days, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I was 7-0 in the NBA. So right now, if you want to make money, just call LVSS. It's that simple. Just call LVSS at 1-866-575-8916. You're going to get a month for $10. That would include baseball, too. That starts in the, next week. 1-866-575-8916. 16-3 run NBA college basketball, 7-0 running in the NBA. So, and also go to jimfeiss.com every day. Go to LVSS and you get NBA and college basketball and baseball.
All right, and Zach, I know you topped the 100 win mark in college basketball over a month ago, and you've had a great season from start to finish. How can folks find you this week?
Yeah, jimfeiss.com. My plays have been pretty sporadic. I haven't really seen too much value on the board. Kind of let the future ride with Duke to see if, what situation I'd be in right now, and I'm in a situation I'd like to be, but I probably should have posted some plays this past weekend. Would have had some winners, but I only had the one game with Notre Dame against Kentucky, and pretty much the plays here that we've talked about will be my plays to end the season and the tournament. So we only have 3 games left there. NBA playoffs, I've really been haven't keyed on too many NBA games like Jeff has. I've had my focus entirely on college basketball for most of the season. So really, I'm just shifting gears right now. It's going to be heading into baseball season here, starting April 6th next week, and we'll go from there. I'm looking forward to a good baseball season this year.
All right, and if you want to sign up for Jim Feiss' YouTube page, it's called Sports Betting. You just click on the link above us, and it's free. I will go with the best bet of Michigan State Duke under the total. You guys want to pass, or you want to go for best bet?
I'll go with Wisconsin for the best bet.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd have to say Wisconsin as well. When you come back, I just don't see that many people coming back. This is where you've got to step up to the plate, and I think they'll be ready with Bo Ryan.
Okay, we got 2 dogs and an under. I'll go with Michigan State Duke under the total. Jim Feist for this week has been on a 7-4 college basketball run and a perfect 2-0 with his high roller plays. He had a rare personal best high roller that was on Duke on Friday, and then a platinum high roller that was Michigan State Sunday. Plus NBA games of the year continue to scorch the books. 19-7-1 with his NBA games of the year. He has a special coming up, and you can just call the phone number on your screen to get his Final Four game of the year that's already up and available. All right, that'll do it for this week's edition. We will see you next week with another edition of the college basketball version of Pro Line. Good luck with the games, everyone.